How does electrocorticography, ECoG, work in invasive BCIs? Imagine being able to control a robotic arm or communicate just by thinking about it. That's what electrocorticography, or ECoG, makes possible in invasive brain-computer interfaces. ECoG involves placing a grid or array of small electrodes directly on the surface of the brain's outer layer, called the cerebral cortex. To do this, surgeons perform a procedure called a craniotomy, where they carefully remove a tiny part of the skull to access the brain. Once the skull is open, the electrode grid is laid flat on the brain's surface. These electrodes are tiny, often just a few millimeters apart, and they pick up electrical signals generated by neurons. When neurons communicate, they produce tiny voltage changes that ECoG can detect. These signals are a sum of activity from many nearby neurons, giving a clear picture of what the brain is doing at that moment. Compared to other methods that measure brain signals from outside the skull, ECoG signals are stronger and more precise. This means they can detect subtle changes in brain activity related to specific thoughts or movements. The signals are also faster to process, which is essential for real-time control of devices. In practice, ECoG is used to decode what a person intends to do or say. For example, if someone imagines moving their hand, the signals recorded by the electrodes can be analyzed to determine that intention. Algorithms then translate these signals into commands for external devices like computers or robotic limbs. This allows people with paralysis to interact with their environment using only their brain signals. One big advantage of ECoG is that it is less invasive than deep brain electrode implants. While surgery is still needed, the electrodes sit on the brain's surface, reducing the risk of damaging brain tissue or causing long-term complications. Advances in electrode design have made it possible to use smaller arrays that still gather enough information for effective control. ECoG is also used in clinics to map brain functions, such as identifying areas responsible for speech or movement. This helps surgeons plan safe operations and develop better BCIs. In research, ECoG-based BCIs have helped people control prosthetic limbs, communicate, or even walk with robotic assistance. Overall, ECoG provides a reliable way to capture high-quality brain signals. It bridges the gap between the brain and external devices, opening new possibilities for restoring function and improving lives for those with neurological challenges.